Everyone, this is CZI from Reddit. I've been asked by a polite Canadian to be a guest judge in the competition. So I'm just going to introduce myself. This is my contest entry, which I won with the last competition. And that's also the reason I've been asked to be a guest judge. I'm going to show some more stuff I painted. I've done some OSL, which has gotten a bit of attention. I also painted some chrome style minis, which also got some attention. And I made a little tutorial on synthwave, painting synthwave chrome. And I've been doing a lot of non-metallic metals. So that's it about me. Let's go into the real content and the reason you guys are here. I'm here to judge everything. And this is the first contest entry. Creature Caster Werewolf. It looks super cool. I really like this color here, the cyan greenish. It's really popping in a nice way. I don't really fancy the red part here. I think you could have put a bit more effort there. It looks kind of unpainted, while the rest of the face is really good. Let's see it from behind. Oh, you got some nice OSL going here. Okay, a thing or two about OSL. This looks really good, by the way. But those chains, really cool chains. It looks like they are being lit up by the fires, but they're actually brighter than the fires. So the reflection is brighter than the light source. It kind of removes the feeling of it being actual light sources. I really like what you've done with the swords. Skin is also really nice. Okay, so this is going to be hard. Oh, composition. How is the composition? It's cool. My eyes are being drawn here, but they're also being drawn here. I think the fires are taking over a little bit. I think this is the beginner category. This doesn't feel like beginner stuff. Composition. I feel that the composition is a bit off, actually. It's really well done in the front and the back of the chains. But those parts kind of put me off. I'm going to put a 5 there. Okay, execution and palette. Execution, paint. Is paint properly thinned and applied? Did you build it correct? And is it painted to an equal standard? Also, advanced techniques, non-metallic metal, object source lighting, and basing. Okay. The OSL, I'm not a fan of the OSL, to be honest. It looks good on the chains, but it doesn't really sell the effect of fire. Okay, so look at this. You're using red where the light is diminishing, and it's not actually red which comes from the flame. It should be an orange style color, and it should just get darker the further away you get from it. So it shouldn't really color shift that much. It's like we have the ambient light hitting it here, and all of a sudden it becomes slightly darker here. It should be the same passive light. So you're not really selling the effect of the light sources being light sources. It looks pretty good from this angle, but here is the same thing with the red, where the light is diminishing. The swords it's being stabbed with, and the kind of bleeding stuff in the face, it looks really nice. But the execution, actually the OSL is pulling it down a bit. The palette, on the other hand, I like the palette. Yeah, you're using nice complementary colors with the blue and the red, the yellowish orange, and this cyan stuff. I like it. All right, what do we have here? Captain Marvel. You shouldn't leave the blue tack underneath it so it's visible in the photos. This is a competition, and you should make sure the photos looks as good as they can. Now it's slightly tilted. This is the beginner category, and we are not judging on the photos here. But if you want to sell it really good, you need to take better photos. I mean, the photos are shot really professional, so you shouldn't be doing this mistake. Okay. Anyway, this is a super clean paint job. I don't like that you left. It's just a tiny bit of plastic sticking out here, but I don't like it. It's important to remove all the mold lines just to stay in the illusion that we're looking at something real. That being said, it's super clean, super tidy paint job. The little fiery hair. Okay, tilted to show off the OSL attempt. Okay, so you made it a little brighter up here. It's just a small OSL. It's visible here. I like the OSL. It's very discreet. You're not trying to make the entire thing about the OSL, and I like that. This looks simple, but it's super clean, super well done, good palette. The OSL is like on point. The composition, it's a 7 composition. The execution, it's an... Actually, I'm sorry. Let's see. Mold lines. It's in execution. Yeah. This small thing on the hand is pulling it down an entire point in execution. The palette is nice, but not extraordinary. Let's move on. What do we have here? A Space Marine. Okay, the first thing I'm seeing is the shoulder pad. It looks like the paint is kind of thick. Is it? The OSL here is pretty cool. Space Marine custom chapter paint scheme. United States. This guy, is this the same guy? It looks so different. It looks like it's, the colors have been somewhat manipulated. It would be nicer with really crisp images. Okay, so let's look at the OSL here. If you want to make the OSL believable, the reason that blue is that it's not reflecting yellow light, it's absorbing yellow light. So this is becoming a bit too yellow for my taste. If you really want to sell it as light, you might want to paint sharp yellow reflections where it is reflected, but in general blue absorbs yellow, so it shouldn't become yellow. No matter how yellow light you put the blue thing in, it will not become yellow. The brush strokes are... let's be clear, I don't mind visual brush strokes. It's not inherently bad to show brush marks or brush strokes, but those shoulder pads, it looks like they have some residue. Maybe you didn't let the paint dry properly before applying new paint, so you kind of dragged the half-dried paint around. That's why it's leaving texture. It looks like that. It looks like you're wet blending, but the paint is actually drying while you're wet blending. So it doesn't become blended, you tear it up all the time. You should try some medium for this. It really helps. Okay, composition. It's a good composition, but my eyes are drawn towards this stone here, the surrounding, more than where the action is. That being said, yeah, you do have some nice contrast here. It does look good. The execution, I'm really not that fond of OSLs being done like in an unrealistic way. Also, the shoulder pad things where you did tear up the paint. I'm sorry, but this will just be a 4. The palette, on the other hand, is nice. It's a 6 there as well. Oh, is this really beginner category? This one is nice. I don't know really what defines a beginner category. I need to zoom in on the metals here. It's really well executed. Small metal stuff popping out of her chest. Actually, this metal looks better than that metal. I think it is because of the harsh contrast to the flesh, where you put almost black around them. What I don't really... It's a nice paint you've used. It's very nice. What I don't really like is the color of the draping thing. You're not really selling it very well with this very dull, kind of boring drape on a super well performed body and face and jewels. I like how you played with different colors, the blue and the red and the yellow. It's totally nice. It doesn't look 100% like skin, but it's that direction. And she's not human anymore, obviously, so maybe it shouldn't be human skin either. The horns are nice. I would probably darken down this pretty much, which would sell the face and the chest even more. That being said, the composition is nice. Execution, very nice. The palette, where is it under the palette? Let me check. Palette, contrast, yeah. Light and shadow. Yes, it's under palette. Unfortunately, this drags it down a bit, but it's still, while the body is pulling it up. The hair doesn't really sell as hair. Hair is more gloss. It's super gloss, actually. Put a 7 here. Oh, what do we have here? This is a cool little guy. I wonder what it is. Probably some Warhammer Age of Sigmar, maybe? I'm not sure. You got some really nice colors going here. I like what you've done with the resin or whatever it is, water, and you properly based him. More is more. A nice little galaxy freehand on the cape. It looks like you spilled some paint here. You should really fix that up, even if you think it doesn't matter. When someone is inspecting your model closely, I will see it. That being said, it has the best base I've seen today. It looks good without drawing too much attention, even though it has some really bright elements. The colors on the hat thing, feather stuff, is really nice, and I like how you match the swords and the cape. It's cool. Okay, where is... execution? It's a 9. Composition? It's What do we say about the composition? Focal point, hierarchy. Yeah, I think he managed quite well. It's not super well, because the bright stuff here looks like he's standing on a really bright spot, but he's not as bright, even though he's kind of shiny. And you get a nice palette going. So let's judge the beginner large format category. Wow, what do we have here? I'm sorry, but the first thing I see is that you shot this guy in a cardboard box. I'm not sure why you did that, because it's not really flattering. I think it would probably look much better with a dark background or a neutral background. I like the colors. You have a lot of small mold lines everywhere. I know this is a large figure, and it's really a hassle to sort all the mold lines out on a large figure. But for me, when I fix a figure for a competition, I would, or a serious paint job, I would spend like maybe 4 or 5 hours just cleaning it up, so to make sure it looks super perfect. And I would recommend you do the same, and we won't have to look at this. It's also much more fun to paint when you don't have the mold lines. So this guy is really fiery. You used the colors of fire on this phoenix guy. Molten lava on the base. It's okay, so it's a clear line between the blue and the orange and the yellow, so it doesn't really look like fire that way. You should be, if you want to sell the illusion of fire, you should probably paint every flame individually. It will take hours and hours, and but that's what it is to paint a large figure. If you don't want to spend hours and hours, or you did spend hours on it, but if you don't want to paint each flame individually, maybe you should consider painting a smaller figure. That being said, I like the colors. I like the blue. You did a good job on the blue. It's very hard to transition from blue to orange in a nice way. So that's why you have a dark line here. So it's not a super smooth transition. If you look at the color wheel, okay, so if you look at the color wheel, you go from blue to orange. You have to pass all those colors. But you try to go straight from blue to orange, and that's why you get the dark line there. Oh, look at this guy. Blight Steel Colossus. What is this guy up to? You've been doing some non-metallic metal here. You're not fully selling it as metal, but it looks kind of metallic. It's very visible that you put in the effort. Oh, this looks good. This is metal. That's what we're talking about. If you would have painted everything to this standard, it would have been in the advanced category. Oh, this is cool. I don't really fancy this part of it, but the thumb here, it's amazing. You really made it look like smoldering ash, something heated from inside. Okay, so the rings here, I don't like them. I'm being harsh now. I've been being harsh to every contest entry, but I'm looking for mistakes, and I'm also looking for what I like in them. So I can't help if I don't point out mistakes. So the yellow rings, they are just yellow rings. It doesn't sell the illusion of a giant metal guy. Oh, this looks good too. This is really good looking. You should be proud of this part. Also here, the sides here are nice. But the yellow rings, they take away, they don't add. So maybe the wise move would be to just cut them away from the Mini. Or you could have painted them in like, they need to have something. They can't just be one color. This being said, I really like this guy. Looks super cool. No, it looks super hot. You should continue doing whatever you were doing when you painted this. This really sells as metal. Kind of cartoony metal, but still metal. But this is good too. It's not bad. Nothing is bad. Keep that in mind. Nothing is bad here. It's the bad things are the yellow, and if we zoom in here, those are unnatural reflections here. And here it doesn't really sell as reflections. So this part is like, it's not bad, but it's the worst part of the Mini. And you already know what the best part is. It's the shoulders. They are looking so good. And the glow from the inside here is obviously very good. Maybe I didn't say it. It was so obvious that it was good, so I didn't have to mention it. But now I do. It's really nice. Here you manage really good. Oh, this part is so nice. Here, this is how you paint glow inside metal. And then you have this part where you didn't really know how you would paint the metal to look metallic, so you added stuff like that. It's not really good, but the good parts are so good that they sell the bad parts as well. You should probably put it on something, and it would look even better. Composition, the execution is 9. This is the beginner category. This is so good. It's super good. The yellow rings is dragging it down a lot, actually. I don't like them. The palette, it's super good. You did a good job. Be proud. Oh, what do we have here? Something that isn't war. This is more like a nice guy. Not tormented. Kind of strange though. Who is this guy? Is it swimming? Yeah, it's swimming at the bottom of the sea. We have coral and stuff here. Is there anything I don't like about this guy? I don't know. Super cute. If I had an aquarium, I would totally buy one of those guys. This looks like a little Super Mario thing where he jumps down. Okay, I don't know what to say. The one problem here is that you've taken the photos with pretty harsh light, so you get a lot of artificial shadows, or like, in fact, really natural shadows, but we want to see the paint job. We want to see what you painted, not the real shadows. So a lot of people use this little trick to make their minis look better, but you can't fool the judge. I do see that that you used a real lamp to generate shadows and not use painted shadows. Here are some crevices which you should really fill with green stuff or something before you start painting. So keeping those visible instead of hiding them is really dragging it down, unfortunately. I like what you done here. Really nice colors. The palette is on top. Execution, visible gaps and stuff. And for doing the photo stuff with real shadows instead of like painting them, it drags it down a little bit, but it's still super nice. I like it. Composition. Yes. My only answer is yes to the composition. Oh, an orc. We like orcs, don't we? October just ended. Okay, so I like the green. Normally I don't really like super green orcs because you just see a lot of green. This is kind of nice. It puts a splash of color into the big reddish thing. So you're really creating a focal point here, both with the values and with the choice of colors. So it's really nice. You're pulling all the attention to the face. It's really good composition wise. Oh, the horns look much better than when I paint horns. Nice one. You could use more contrast in parts like this claw. You probably want a lot, with areas this big, you probably want a lot of contrast within the actual area. So maybe put it very dark here and brighten it up or something. Also, it could use some black lining, so you really mark the folds and gaps and crevices. Same, it's actually the same all over it. You can really add much more contrast if you put some effort to it. That being said, it's super cool. Who doesn't love a big orc with a big claw and shooty thingy? Composition. You actually get an 8. You're really managing to pull the attention to the central places. It's really good. Execution wise, I think you can put more contrast in the entire figure. It's it looks like it's a lot of washes being used, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but it looks like lead belcher and some washes, and you do have some colors on the heat decoloration on the nozzle and stuff, which looks really cool, and things are being lit up and stuff. It's nice. It's an 8. The palette, although you're drawing the attention to the face, the palette is a little boring. Could use some more color. Oh, what's this? What have you done? Sir Rathan Cronshell's last stand. So is Sir Rathan, is it the knight or the elephant? It's probably the knight. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. You made such a thing here. Oh, the elephant is crazy. It's all red-eyed. I love it. He's not getting beat up, is he? No, he's winning this fight. I believe in Sir Rathan. Oh, this is a big model. Okay, so what do we have to say about this guy? It's a lot of gray in here. It's actually mostly gray. It's gray stone, gray sand, gray elephant, gray knight, and gray background. So this is really gray and a splash of colors. I guess this was intentional, that you really want to put the focus on this guy, and you managed to. But I still think it could use a bit more color. You're really onto something with the moss and the stuff being pretty desaturated while you're having more colors on the guy. I think the elephant could use some more colors too. Even though the elephant is gray, you can use colors to shade him, like maybe some blue or purple or whatever you fancy. And you can also use, maybe you don't need to go so gray. You can highlight him with yellow, for example, if you want to, or like mostly any color. There are also visible gaps here. There's gaps here too. It's a hassle with those big figures. I like the dynamic movement here. This guy really wants to bash down this little guy. He probably has hit him a few times already, but he's prepared now. He has his shield up. Okay, so the composition, it's good. It's superb. Great composition. Execution. There are gaps and stuff. It could be better executed. That being said, the rocks and stuff and the moss and stuff, it's super well done. But the gaps makes it looks like a kind of like a toy. It takes away from the experience of being in a live scene. It makes it more like a toy scene, so that drags it down. A little bit. The palette, I think you could have used more colors. The palette is boring. It looks good, but it's boring. This all being said, it's a super exciting piece. You did super well. Okay, so let's move on to the intermediate small format category. Oh, look at this guy. Midget dwarf riding a sheep. Shit, look at this little bird, so cute. The sheep just had some food. What's the guy up on the helmet there? I'm not sure what it is. Let's look at his eyes here. Those are well painted eyes. I would have want some more skin here to cover up the eye that is floating out here. I'm remarking at very small details here. It looks super good. Oh, he has troll blood. Does he drink it, or does he just carry it around with him? Oh, it's a small dragon thing on his helmet. Yeah, super cool. Oh, look at those dwarves and stuff on his helmet. That's a nice helmet. I would wear it. It looks super good. Oh, here is a zoom in on the little guy. Okay, let's talk about skin again. The problem with this skin is that it's... Oh, his eyes look a little wonky from this perspective. The key to making the eyes look not wonky is that the irises should be exactly the same size. If they are exactly the same size, it will look like he's looking in a certain direction. Now this one is a little bit smaller and misshaped, so that's why it's looking a bit wonky. So about skin tones, you probably want to mix yellow with red and white to make a good skin tone, probably. This guy lacks a bit of color in his face. He lacks pink, I think. For example, ears and noses, they usually contain a lot of reds, pink. I'm really pointing at small stuff here. Overall, it's looking really good. The pants here, the checkered pants, doesn't really sell as cloth for me. If you compare it to the sheep texture here, it looks really sheep in a good way. It looks like he's riding a sheep. The sheep looks so good. Very nice. When painting skin, use lots of colors. Lots of thin layers of colors. you will reach more skin-like tones. This is good composition. Execution, it's good. It's good. I would like the eyes to not look wonky. Always take your time on the eyes. Reiterate it over and over again. It's so important to make the eyes look good. It makes the I was about to say human. It makes the human, but this is not a human. This is a dwarf. But when the eyes looks good, you can get away with a lot. So you should have gone over the eyes a couple of times again. That being said, the eyes do look good individually, but they look a bit wonky together. The palette is good. It looks when they are about the same saturation on everything, it looks realistic. It's being displayed under the same light in the same universe. It's nice. Oh, what do we have here? It's Santa Claus. Little crazy Santa. Did you build this base? It's awesome. There's the little guy in his backpack. Little mouse in his back. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about skin tones. It's got a clearly red nose, red ears. It looks good. When you're painting skin, you should never go from one dark skin tone up to the bright skin tone. It's always variations in the skin. It's not just you don't have one line to follow between dark and bright. That's one of the lines. That's called values, but you also need to change saturation, and saturation doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with value. Okay, in general I think this is super cool. It's some of the stuff is kind of clumsy painted. I think those bells are very yellow. I think they're supposed to be kind of metallic, but in my eyes they look yellow. This looks metallic. This is nice metal. This is yellow. Okay. The base is super well done. This looks like ice. The snow doesn't really sell as snow. It sells as white stuff. White moss maybe, but together with the eyes it looks good. This looks good. The application of snow here isn't as nice. I like a smile and what you did to the face. It's really good. Just a little mistake on the eyebrow here. I don't like where you spilled paint on the eyebrow here. It would be so easy to correct. Or is it spilled paint? It looks kind of like spilled paint anyway. I would do the eyebrow a bit more in. Get a good color composition here. I mean, the base tells a story without intruding. It's there. He's standing on top of an ice thing, planning his next move. He has horns too. I didn't see them at first. He's planning his next move. What's he gonna do now? He surely is up to no good. This little mouse and jingle bells. Composition, it's good. Execution, I don't like the snow. The snow is pulling it down. There's a mistake in the eyebrow. There's just one little mistake, one might say, but it's still a mistake. And the colors are not perfectly applied. It's kind of flaky at bits. Some mold lines or gaps and stuff. So the execution is a bit lower, but you really have style. If you learn brush control better and fix gaps and stuff like that, technical issues, you're gonna be really, really good because you got style. And the palette, you get eyes for colors, obviously. The palette is really good. I like it. Little crazy Santa. Okay, what do we have here? This is some kind of Warhammer bad guy standing on some sewer thing. Is it blood pouring out of it? I don't know. It's sewer. That's the kind of guy who likes sewers. I like what you did to the axe here. I'm not sure if it's reflecting red or if it is red, but I like it. Doesn't matter what it is, it looks good. From the back side, it looks like you didn't put quite the same effort into it. A mistake I myself usually do. Or it's just light hitting it from another angle. It looks good from behind too. He looks good from behind too. Get some good color going on here. I like how you built the base. He really feels at home at this place. Maybe it is his home. You just entered his little dungeon thing with checkered tiles on the floor and the sewer and stuff. He likes it here. Oh, it looks good from far away. What a guy. I don't want to be at this place. I don't want to come home to this guy. I don't think he will be very kind to me. He put some good effort into all of this. I like it. The way you lit him up, with light from above, you really making him a star of the show, even though it's a lot happening down here. The axe is his crown. It's like the jewel on top of everything. It's good. Composition. It's a 10. You got full score on composition. It's really good. Execution. Execution is an 8. Why is it just an 8? It's just an 8 because it looks different from different directions. So the finish of the axes are kind of different. This one is different from, it looks like it's made of cheaper material on this side. You just afford the luxury side on half the luxury axe on half of the axe. The other is not as luxury. It looks good. It's really nice what you've done here. It's kind of molten but sharp. It doesn't make sense to me, but I like it. It looks good. It doesn't need to make sense because we're not in the real world here. I like the transparency you made. So you see through the molten metal, see the shaft here. It looks good. And also some glossy material in the blood stuff. The palette, it's good. It's not exciting, but it's good. I wouldn't mind seeing more color variation, but it doesn't have to be more color variation. It's good. Be proud. It's really nice. Oh, what's this? What is this? This is a skilled technical painter painted. Oh, she's carrying some kind of dragon head or something. A head of something. Oh, and a fish here. And a little snail. Wow. You really made something here. Oh, and it's dripping from the head into the water. I wonder what the snail thinks about her dripping dragon's blood into the water. Oh, this is good. You guys are so good. It's an honor to be watching those dioramas that you made. I like the leaf here. And that's a good leaf. Those are the details that sell a masterpiece. You painted the backside good even though you are using a backdrop. And that's respect. It's easy to cheat on those pieces. I like the ripples on the water from the blood. I like the entire aquarium thing. Okay, so what could we improve here? Let's have a look at the face. Okay, the dark here in the corners over the nose from the eyebrows. She would probably be better off without it. Or if you tone it down a little. There's also something going on around the nose here. But overall it's a very good face. It looks like you painted the whites after you painted the irises. So when you do paint eyes, I would recommend you to like go back and forth. Paint some whites, paint some irises, paint some eyelashes and mascara and all that, and reiterate and do it all over again, and it will become better and better. And you paint with really thin layers, and it will become a sum of everything you painted, so it will be really good at the end. You could highlight the hair a bit more if you want to, and it will look more like hair. As we stated earlier, hair is really glossy. The hand here, I was about to complain, but when I'm zooming in, I'm not going to complain anymore. It's looking good, really good. composition, it's a 10. Everything you built around it, from the backdrop to the pool to the jungle, it's all good. I think the axe here, it could be improved. This is quite an important part, which you left looking kind of unfinished. So you put all the work into everything, like painting the leaves and the snail and the fish, not to mention her, but a very visible part is being a bit dull. Actually, that's execution. It's dragging it down to 9, and also the small mistakes I mentioned in the face, they are not big enough to drag the entirety down, because it looks so good. And the palette is just great. It's super good. All in all, it's super good. The snail and the fish are my favorite parts. You must have enjoyed making this pool a lot, it shows. Ooh, what's this? I think this guy is from Kingdom Death Monster, maybe. I'm not sure. This is good. Oh yeah, his name is Heart Knight or something. Flower Knight, Heart Knight, I don't know. I wonder what shape his head is inside this helmet. Wow, what's this? Do we get the close-up of this guy? Oh, he's a flower knight. That's a flower. Now I remember. Oh, the metal on the back is really good. I like the helmet. He's been in a few fights. Those ears are not as well done on the inside. And this is nice, it looks really good. Let's talk about the OSL again. It's obvious that it's something yellow shining down at this guy from up here. So if it's yellow, the heart should be lit up with yellow as well. I don't know if it's yellow enough to paint the entire armor yellow here. I've never seen a light which lights up metal in that way, like in the most illuminated parts it's white and then it extends to yellow and then it disappears. So it's kind of a strange OSL here. But all in all, it looks really good. It's beautiful colors. You do have a very good sense of color. The colors looks so good together, even though it's an explosion of different colors. And I'm not sure if they really should match, but they do. What comes out is like a fruit salad. Maybe it shouldn't match, but the entirety is really good and tasteful. I'm not sure what he's holding in his hand. Oh, is it some kind of bag? It glows at least. all the flowers and stuff. It's really nice. I like it a lot. I find the OSL a bit more disturbing. It doesn't add to the scene, it actually removes from the scene. Palette, it's at 10, no doubt about it. Execution, I'm sorry, it's an 8 in execution. The OSL is taking away so much from it because it doesn't look like light. It just looks colored. Composition, it's really good. You made a great composition with the colors and everything, and the flowers and stuff. It looks... I'm gonna show you a thing that bugs me a little bit. It's on this flame thing, or whatever it is. It looks like it's small mold lines or something here and here. I'm not sure what it is. It bugs me a little bit. That being said, it's a great job. I could look at this one for a long time. You made a great job here. Look on the intermediate large format. Ooh, what have we got here? Those are, what are they called? It's called mimics. Just mimics hunting a little frog thief guy. Okay, so he's been trying to loot chests and stuff. Oh, it's it's stuff everywhere. What's even happening here? This is this is hilarious. I don't know why my connection... Oh, here we go. Okay, let's talk about brush strokes. Earlier I've said that in some cases visible brush strokes doesn't matter to me. If it looks well, it looks well. And I actually think here one might think it looks a bit sloppy with those visible brush marks. But I don't mind. It looks good in the context. You don't always have to make everything super smooth. As long as the right color and the right value is in the right place, it will look good. This is the important part, in my opinion. And some people, of course, think that smooth transition tops everything. I'm not of that school. I think it's more important to have the correct colors and values at the correct place. Yeah, this is super cool. Oh, even the Christmas tree is after him. What did he steal from the Christmas tree? Everything, probably. All those little gifts. It's so much going on here. I like what you did with the background. Like, it's dark over here and it becomes bright. He's running towards the light. Is the light able to save him from all the mimics? I know when I'm playing Dark Souls, the mimics are the worst. They can totally beat you up. Oh, that's a cute face on the frog. She or he is even wearing a lipstick. So many details on this thing. Oh, here you are. Oh, you stole so much. There's so many eyes on this guy. But I wonder how he's the first of the pack, but he doesn't have any legs. Those guys should be faster than him. I don't know. Maybe that guy doesn't need legs. He can fly. Oh, it's a throne mimic as well, I guess, or something. Yeah, this one is cool. I like it a lot. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a composition. It's great. I think you could put even more attention to the frog. This guy here, the way you painted it, this guy is just as important as that guy. And maybe he is. But I think this is the main character running, escaping from them. So I think that guy should be toned down a bit. It's like he's almost the center of attention. And if he was the center of attention, you should have put more contrast in him, like in the trunks and whatever it is. The eyes look really good. It was probably super fun to paint. Execution. There are some sloppy paint stuff on it, but it doesn't matter. The execution is good. The palette is super nice. It's a Christmas mood palette with a frog escaping from mimics. It's great. It's a 9 all over. No part is perfect, but it's really high quality. It's fun to look at. I enjoy looking at it. Well done. What's this? I don't even. It must be from Kingdom Death Monster or something. I don't know what words I can say on YouTube. Probably not words describing this guy. Oh, this guy up here is having the time of his life. Oh, so this is actually for playing, and you have those small hands separate, it looks like, maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, here it really looks like something not safe for kids. Or I don't know, this guy isn't safe for anyone, I think. It's really crawling in the dust. I don't like the actual gaming piece style in a painting competition. It draws it down a bit. Also, those gaps, I'm allergic to them. When this is left open, it's the first I see. So first I see, oh, someone didn't even bother to fill the gaps, and then I can watch the rest. That being said, it's super cool. Don't let my remarks take anything away from it, but it draws down the execution a lot. But it's well painted. The composition. Oh, I have a hard time taking this guy serious. I think the blue doesn't really fit in with the purples and skin tones. You probably want more colors in it, or less colors, like the blue. If we take up the color wheel again, you see that we have the purple here, and the skin tone is somewhere here, and the blue is here. You might have wanted it to be green or something instead. Like a desaturated green could be really good on this piece. I think the palette is... it's good, but it's not that good. Composition wise, it's cool. I like it. There are some things drawing it back though. Oh, what's this? What is this? Some fantastic colors. Now when I'm talking about wanting more colors in a piece, this is it. These are the colors I want to see. I wouldn't paint it myself. I would never use those kind of colors, but when I'm watching it, it looks so good. It makes me want to be bold and dare to use colors. Super nice. Okay, so you can tell it was airbrushed here. The beak was airbrushed on and it spilled over. It doesn't matter. It almost looks realistic. Feathers are reflective, so it's not a negative. But it could possibly look better without it. The thing that bothers me most is this here. If this is intentional, that it's raised up, it should be painted like it was intentional, with the same kind of feeling like the rest of the rock. I don't like this one. I see it immediately. I like what you've done to the base. You put on a gaming base and a lot of grass and weed and flowers and stuff. Put a rock on top of it. It fits its purpose. It adds color, even more color. It just looks good. The negatives are all shown in this picture. The jacket is not so well painted, actually. You could probably have gone over it a couple of more times just with thin glazes and make it look really much better. The face looks good, but it could use even more contrast. You want her or him, you want the kid to be the center of attention, together with a very nice beak and stuff here. It looks super good, but you could add some more contrast and she would really rock it. Palette, it's top notch. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about colors. Composition, it's a 9. Execution, a 9. Well done. Looks really good. It's fun to watch it. Ooh, a dragon. Now this is a nice dragon. The first thing I see here is the flash or lightning thing. It's taking over. You don't want it to take over. You want it to add to the dragon. You don't want it to be a lightning with a dragon. You want it to be a dragon with a lightning. This being said, the dragon is really nice looking. the flashes here, the free-handed flashes, really good. This was the first picture, but I kind of like this one better. This one sells the face or the head of the dragon better. But that's because this one is, this lightning is lighting up the entire thing. Oh, this looks good. Well done. The red dots here among the entire thing, you should probably have made them a bit softer, like make them mend into the rest of the piece better. Oh, this is a nice view too. I would tone down the lighting. That being said, it looks good. It looks good. Composition, I'm sorry, the composition is a 7. It's a lighting with a dragon. Execution, it's a good execution. But the best part is the head, but the head isn't quite as visible thanks to the lighting. The palette is kind of boring. It's not a lot of color. It's just the red from the lightning showing up. This being said, you should still be proud. You made an excellent dragon. It's still a very high total grading of it. But it's not top notch in any area, but it's really a good piece. You should be proud. And look here. Now, this isn't the guy you want to meet in the dark alley, or a woman you want to meet in the dark alley, or anywhere at all, maybe. I like the voodoo stuff she's carrying here. It's a claw and a skull. Is this non-metallic metal, or is it metal? No, it's not metallic metal. From this angle it looks really good. It looks metallic, the way you want. A lot of people are obsessed with the Games Workshop style of non-metallic metal, like bright, dark, bright, dark. This is what metal looks like. It's nice. The fur here feels a bit sloppy. Maybe she just took a mud bath with it. It's possible. She looks like the kind of woman who would take a mud bath with only her fur or feather fur thing. I like the bird here. In general, it looks good, but it's a lot like it's a zenithal and then quick paint job and then washes. I have that kind of feeling. That's the feeling it gives to me. Like this is washes. It's probably not when I'm looking at it. You could probably go over it a few more times and either have really visible brush marks, which is sell as like artistic brush marks, or like you remove them at all. This is my favorite area of her. Made it really good with this string through the skull. It's really detailed. The shading around every object is kind of harsh, I think. Like here, the skin is totally black behind it. You should probably tone down your shades or like smear them, fade them a bit better. She needs to cut her toenails. A lot of good details. But the application of paint is not the best. Composition is good. The palette is good. It's not extraordinary, but it's good. Okay, that's it for the intermediate category. Okay, so we reached the advanced category. What is this? Look at this guy. This is just crazy. Now this is a good example of advanced category. Everything just looks so good. Who is this guy? He looks like maybe some Assassin's Creed guy wearing a bow, sword, and a bird, and an assassin's thing, hood thing. A great base. Yeah, this is nice. I like the backdrop as well. Lancelot. It's probably not Assassin's Creed. I like how you built the base into the wall behind him. It looks good. So those are all pretty muted down colors. It's very light at the backdrop. And the light is coming up from here, hitting him as well as the backdrop. It looks really well. This is how OSL is made, guys. This is how you do good. Oh, there's no object in the image though, but the light coming from this direction, very subtle but very beautiful. Okay, and this is what I talked about earlier. Visible brush marks in a good way. This looks artistic and good. This is what we want to see. If you're leaving brush marks, it can be broad, confident brush strokes. It looks good. It doesn't look bad because you see the brush marks. It just looks. It adds to the entirety of it. I like that you used so muted down. It's not very saturated, and I like that. It's a lot of colors, but not very saturated. It's just like earth colors, like green and yellow ochre and red and brown. It looks good. There are some lazy parts, I think, like the feathers. Here it looks like it's more or less possibly airbrushed, and the claws on the guy is like not really put much effort into. Yeah, this is obviously something I don't like. Or maybe it's just a cut in the hood. It's sewn together that way, maybe. Let's say that it is. The non-metallic metal is on point. It really sells as metal. It could be a bit more highlighted actually. The cross thing here is the one that doesn't sell as metal. Those buttons, they're really good. Can't believe it's not metal. This here and those buttons, not as good. Could add some character to the little pouch here and to the leather in general. It's like nothing is happening here. It could happen a bit more stuff on it. The face is good. It doesn't say much. It has character, but it could be the skin tones could be a bit better. All in all, it's great. Composition, it's blowing me away. Execution, it lacks somewhere on a few places. It's actually I'm gonna put it at a 7. There are many parts which are lacking, but the eye for composition, the eye for color, it's splendid. It looks so good. It's a pity that there are some lazy parts on it, because it's so good in general. Should be really proud. It's incredible. Oh, what is this? Once again, when we're talking about the backdrop here, it's visible brush marks and dots and stuff. It just adds to the entirety of it all. This is incredible. Those are some well-painted eyes. Metal is great as well. The horns, they look good, but they don't sell as horn. They sell as artificial horns. The skin color, it's the best I've seen all day. It got yellows, it got reds, greens. Super good. Now this is how you make a metallic belt buckle. It's really good. It's really tied together well with the bracers or whatever it's called, and the belt buckets and the different metals. Let's look at the skin here. Let's zoom in. Or the leather, I mean. It looks good. It's you caught the different materials. The base is really good as well. The moss growing underneath. The stone. Are there more pictures? Does he have a backside? Oh, he do have a backside. Let's have a look. The hair. Is it hair or is it fur? It's hair. The hair from the backside is dragging it down a tiny bit. You cheated. You went a bit quick on the backside, I see. If you look at the fur on the stomach, it looks much better than on the backside. But They're still having a nice horn here. And still some very good effort put into the backside. This is probably just mud. Or spilled paint, who knows? Yeah, it's incredible. I would love to see the hair a bit more polished. I really like how you went to town with the background. All kinds of colors and stuff just to complement the foreground. Composition, it's top notch. Execution, I think you could have put some more effort into the backside. I'm sorry to say it, but it's a 9 instead of a 10. It's so good. I think also the bone parts here doesn't sell as good as the rest of it. But oh my god, it's so on point. Everything else is on point. The skin, the backdrop, the metallics, the whatever metal this is. It just looks so good. It's really selling a warrior or a barbarian standing there ready to do his stuff. Palette, it's top notch. You nailed it. It's really good. Now what am I watching here? Wow. Now what is this crowd up to? Are they just out there having fun together, or is it a party, or are they preparing to cut me up? I don't know. I like the graffiti here. It looks like the kind of graffiti those people would do. It's a really nice composition with all the empty space, which isn't empty, but filled with backdrop. Could probably cut it down to around here and it would possibly look even better, or make it even bigger. Maybe stretched out to the side or something, but it looks really good. The color choices are also really fine. I wonder why the frame isn't painted. Maybe you ran out of time, or maybe you didn't intend to paint it. I would totally hang this on my wall. I think it does lack a central figure. It's a war band. I guess it's Necromunda war band or something I'm watching. I'm not sure, but I think it could use a central figure, somewhere to rest my eyes on. Now I just want to look all over it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I really want like a centerpiece in this. Maybe she could be the centerpiece, but she's not visible enough to be it. She could be it even more if she's supposed to be the centerpiece. I like what you've done here. It's incredible. So many little incredible details everywhere. Like a little lizard guy running around eating up the monitor. Someone died here a long time ago. Or some dead guy was collected to their home in the catacombs, which they I mean, I would rent their interior designer. Imagine living in a place like this. Under the hive is where I draw something blood. Yeah, it's cool. I wonder if they all go to the same hairstylist. I think they do. Is there more pictures? Yes, there is. Oh, this is a big plinth. It's not meant to be hung on the wall, or is it? I don't know. I really love the colors. Oh, this is so cool. Imagine having this guy in your bookshelf. So this backside makes me wonder, did he paint the backsides of them? I guess not. It doesn't matter. All those little lizards, or demon hounds or whatever it is, they are my favorite part. Palette, it's 10, no doubt about it. Composition, I'm lacking a focal point. I want to rest my eyes somewhere. The execution, I think the yellows are kind of sticking out a little bit. We have this nice composition, but my eyes are hurting from a lot of small yellow things everywhere. But it's really good, really awesome. What is this? You guys are unbelievable. This is incredible. Oh, she even has snow in her hair. Now this is how you apply snow to make it look realistic. This bra, I don't know what protection it gives, but it looks really nice. Made by a master of metals. Now this is how you do snow. Watch and learn, guys. If you ever want to do snow, this is how you do it. I wonder why those skulls are here. Did she kill the people? Leave them very long? Or did she just find out that her relatives are being stacked in a pile? She doesn't look too happy about it though. Either she just saw a ghost, or she just saw her relatives, her missing relatives have been skulls forever. I like what you did to the base that she's balancing outside it. Let's watch the face. It's good. It's very sad. I think her iris could be a bit bigger on this side. It's like she's looking on her nose with this eye, and this eye is looking at you and me. I'm nitpicking here, but this is the advanced category, so I'm actively looking for mistakes. Like the shadow here is very harsh. This little guy doesn't have eyes. I don't know, does those have eyes? I don't know what it is. The metal is extraordinary. It looks really good. She could probably use some warmer clothes in this freezing place. She's probably really cold now. I like the skin on the legs and the stomach. I actually like that better than the face. It's looks a bit unnatural with the... I like this part of the face, but down by the mouth and under the mouth it's so pale. I mean, it's okay to be pale up here, but this isn't normally a pale area. It should probably go towards bluer tones in the skin rather than pale. That being said, it's beautiful. The metals are fantastic. Oh, look at this shield. It's super cool. The wood doesn't look as woody as I would... The wood doesn't look as woody as I would want it to look. This is nice. My eyes are directly drawn to this. Splendid. You were really having fun with all those kinds of metals. I like how it's very desaturated down here, and up here it's more saturated. So the contrasts in value are about the same here as it is here, but the contrast in saturation is increased here, so therefore it's more contrast here, so in total, so our eyes are drawn here. It's beautiful. Composition, it's a 10. Execution, metals are perfect. I think the colors could be slightly better at the skin. But it's so good everywhere else. But skin is really hard to do good. The metals are among the best I've seen. It's so good. And the snow and everything, super nice. Alright, so what's this? Wrecking Maxine. This is some kind of dystopian cyberpunk future thing. I really like the dog. I see her and her bra first, but then my attention is drawn to the dog. It's super cool. The colors are really good. It's matching everywhere, from the ground to her pouch to her bra to the hammer. It's super nice. It's a great print on the back of her cloak as well. And oh, the skin tones, super good. She looks kind of cartoonish, but with great skin tones. Yeah, those brush marks are not the kind of brush marks I find exciting. It looks more like mistake than intentional. Her bra is excellent. It's so nice to look at. When I zoom in, it's pretty simple, but that doesn't matter. It's still really beautiful. It really sells the glossy material good. Let's have a look at her face and really judge it. Okay, so this ice has a bit of problems going on. I'm being really harsh now, but this is the advanced category. The good thing is that the irises are the same size, they're looking at the same direction, she doesn't look wonky, even though there is a small mistake on the bottom eyelid and in the white hair. It's not a problem because the eyes in total, the sum of the eyes is good. It looks really good. The eyebrows, however, looks very painted on. It doesn't look like hair. It doesn't sell as eyebrows. It sells as like kind of cheap makeup eyebrows. And the hair is really painted on. So those are quite big minuses actually. The hair and the eyebrows. Here are brush marks that are totally okay in my opinion. It looks like her armor thing has been a bit battered. The purse and stuff looks really good. It's a beautiful piece. It's a beautiful piece. The dog is my favorite, of course. The dog and the bra. It's a great palette. Execution could be better on the parts I mentioned, but when I'm looking at the dog could not be better. It's perfect. If I ever get a dog, he will carry this armor. It's beautiful. He stepped in some rubble though. It's a 10 in composition. You did great. I love it. And that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. See you on Reddit. Bye.